What's up, everyone? Welcome to the live stream. Happy Friday. Hope you had a wonderful week. Excited to chat with you today. I just got back from a wonderful little couple day getaway with my family. Went for my dad's birthday, and it was great. It was nice to relax and get a little R&R. We rented an Airbnb with a pool, which was really nice. It was extreme. It's been extremely hot here in the Bay Area. But excited to dive back in. We just got back yesterday, so I'm ready to go. Let's do this thing. So let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. And today, what's up? Already got Diana. We've got Keto Twins, Emily. What's up? Thank you guys so much for always tuning in every week. It really does mean a lot to me. We're going to talk about some great stuff today. So the first thing, but first, before I start talking, if you have any questions about anything related to brand deals or making money as a creator, diversifying your creator business, let me know in the chat. And that's what I love the most. I love chatting with you guys, answering your questions. But let's get the juices flowing. Oh, what's up, D? Thanks for tuning in. Let's start it off with something I wanted to talk about because we also got some people in the IG chat. What's up, Nadia? We got Angela. We've got Mo Dizzle 3. What's up? Thank you guys for joining in on IG. So I have been getting quite a few DMs from like up and coming aspiring creators this week. And there's this one kind of common theme that I'm seeing, especially when you're starting out in your creator career, is confidence. And I wanted to talk about this in more detail specifically, because I think that if you are lacking confidence when it comes to your interactions with brands and in your pitching strategy and things like that, it's going to be very difficult for you to get what you want. It's going to be very difficult for you to get paid what you want as a creator. And so I wanted to start today off by just talking about some mindset shifts that I think are really critical to being a creator and to charging what you're worth, honestly. And so I've talked about this in the past a little bit, but I wanted to talk about it more specifically today because I wanted to give the opportunity to you guys to give me your thoughts in the chat and things like that. So what's up, Things with Gia? Thanks so much for tuning in. Okay, so let's talk about like the mindsets that you need to have when you are interacting with brands, when you're pitching them, when you're negotiating for a brand deal contract. And the first one, honestly, is that you deserve to be paid, right? When I've been DMing with creators, especially this week, there's this hesitation and this feeling that because you don't have some sort of arbitrary number of followers, you do not deserve to be compensated. And what I always say to that is that, would you work a 9-to-5 job for free? And the answer is always, well, no, of course I wouldn't. And so my response to them is always, so why should creating content for a brand be any different? Right? You are actually spending your time, you're spending your resources, you've invested in camera equipment, you've invested in microphones and lighting equipment and all of those things. You're not just some random person off the street who has no idea what they're doing. If a brand walked up to a random person and said, hey, will you do this for me? Yeah, okay, maybe that's a different story, but you're not. Like, this is something that you're doing and you want it to be a business. You want this to be something that you're compensated for. So I really, it's hard for me to sometimes explain this to people, which is that you have to get out of your comfort zone and understand that you have a very valuable asset, right? By being a creator, you have knowledge and expertise that maybe you don't think is that valuable, but it is, right? And so you deserve to be paid, right? So the thing, honestly, is that like, when you think about the value that they're getting from you, right? Whether it's reposting the content on their social media, right? Or potentially using it for paid advertising, which we talk about a lot on the live stream, right? But also, most importantly, they're getting access to your audience, right? That you have built up over the years, right? So, I really encourage you to not let brands try to gaslight you. right? Because you're not crazy for wanting to be compensated and paid for your work and for your time, right? So I know it's hard, especially if it's like a brand that you're really excited about working with, but in my experience, you really have to walk away from those types of exchanges and those relationships because the brand views you as a commodity. If they're really not wanting to compensate you and they just are wanting to like pay you with free product, look, I get it. If you're starting out and you're wanting to get some experience under your belt, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing a few, partnerships that are just like in exchange for free product. And maybe the product is expensive. Maybe it's like $1,000 product or $2,000 product or something. But like if they're going to send you like a bag of chips, one creator says they wanted to send me in my private Facebook group, but they wanted me to do like 2 in-feed posts, a reel, like a bunch of stories for like a 6-pack of chips, which is like $20 or something, right? So it's like, come on, no, I'm not going to do that, right? So be realistic here. Like what they're asking for has to be commensurate or what they're like offering to pay you, whether it's product or compensation, has to be realistic based on like what they're asking you to do, right? So that's number one. I've got 5 things here that I want to chat about. And real quickly, D in the chat said the best way to boost confidence is to learn more, and your confidence will improve instantly. Yeah, the more you learn, the more you do know your worth. Exactly, D. I mean that really does come with it. I think when you don't have the repetitions of doing it over and over and talking with the brand, maybe even getting on the phone with the brand. If you don't have that experience, of course you're going to not know what you're doing, right? If you were to go in like, in high school or college or whatever, if you were to go into your test without studying, completely unprepared, of course you would fail, right? But taking the quizzes, doing the homework, right? Studying on your own. Those are the things that you need to be doing as a creator to become more business savvy. That's the whole point of this channel. That's the whole point of the reason that you're on the live stream, right? We talk about this a lot, which is just that, I don't know why creators like they think it should just be easy. They feel embarrassed that they don't understand this stuff. But of course you're not going to understand it if you've never done it. It's just like anything else in life, anything else, any school you've done or any for your training for your job or whatever, right? The only way that you're going to improve is to learn and get better. And that's why you're here. So that's absolutely true, D. What's up, Zara? Thanks for tuning in. Zara, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Fourth born child, thanks for tuning in all the way from the Philippines. Okay, so let's talk about mindset shift number 2. And that is that fundamentally people do not value something as highly that they get for free or for a low price. So if you're saying, "Oh, of course, yeah, sure, I'll do this for free," you don't need to pay me. Like, just send me the free product. I'll talk about it in my content. I'll show it up. Blah 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 blah. Then they're not going to value that exchange. They're not going to value that relationship because they're not paying you. They're not expecting much in return. Right. And this definitely is a strategy for brands. Like brands will reach out, they'll try to email 500 influencers and just see who will bite. And unfortunately, like that actually does work. But, the one thing that, brands understand is that there's less control that they have over the relationship in that scenario. It's hard for them to actually, get you to commit to, posting, exactly the way they want you to talk about their product or, post on a certain date or post certain, tag them in a certain way and things like that. Right. So, but when they compensate you, there is a certain level of expectation that they can have, right, to expect that you're going to do certain things in return, like tagging the brand properly, doing the FTC disclosure properly, talking about using the talking points and key messages and talking about the brand in the way that they hope that you'll talk about them and kind of focus on the features and the benefits that they want you to focus on, right? And so when they pay you, it's reasonable for them to want you to talk about those things. But when they don't, right, they're just not going to value that relationship, right? And so again, when you go out, right, if you're going to get something for free, right, you're not going to value it as highly as something that you paid for, right? And so again, the same thing is true with brands, right? The more that you work with brands for free or agree to collaborate for a very small amount, they're going to treat you like a commodity, right? And they're like potentially replaceable or interchangeable with any other creator out there. But when you charge what you're worth, you're honestly going to naturally start attracting the types of brands that you want to work with, right? And the other thing that I'm the caveat that I give here is that this is going to mean that you're probably going to not be able to work with some brands that you may have worked with in the past anymore, right? Because you've set this precedent with them that, oh, like, Justin just works for everything for free. Let's just keep giving him free product and he'll keep posting about us. And when you finally put your foot down and nicely, and you say, like, I've really enjoyed this relationship. We've worked together for over a year. I would love to, here's, the posts that I would love to do with you, but I'm actually going to give you XYZ, which is additional that I wasn't giving you before. But you're going to need to compensate me now. It's going to be $500 a post or $1,000 a month or however much content you're generating for them. Right. And some are going to say no. Some are going to say, no, I'm sorry. We're not able to do this. Can we just, keep the same relationship that we had before? And you have to be able to just walk away from that and say no, because look, what's better? Like, do you want to be working with 5 brands for free or 1 brand for $100 a month? Right? Yes, it's going to be less products, less deal flow potentially, but you're going to start, again, freeing up your mental real estate to focus on the types of partnerships that you want to be working on. I made a video on my YouTube channel maybe like last month, which was which would you prefer, 10 $1,000 deals or 1 $10,000 deals? And personally, my inclination is always to go for the one $10,000 deal because it's just less work, right? You just like get one deal, you get to focus all your efforts on it, and you get paid handsomely for it. But surprisingly, I asked a lot of creators in my private Facebook group about it, and a lot of them preferred the former. A lot of them preferred 10 $1,000 deals. And I no spoilers. Like, if you haven't watched that video, go watch that video because there's a lot of really interesting pros and cons to both. But I would just give that caveat that, I believe that, freeing up your mental real estate to be able to focus on, the brands who really do value what you're bringing to the table is absolutely critical. What's up, B Gonzalez 805? Thanks for joining. Alchemist. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. SPF joined in the Instagram chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Keto Twins said here in the chat, I'm going to be honest, it feels good to be able to respond. We are currently not making content in exchange for free products. Yes. Oh my goodness. That is a great feeling, right? And tell me a little bit more in the comments, Emily, like what gave you the confidence to be able to finally get to that point where you were able to like feel comfortable saying that? Is it because your deal flow is starting to increase and you felt like comfortable doing that, or you finally got, your first paid deal, or like what, like coach me through that. How did you get to that point? Oh my gosh. Zara, thank you so much. Zara just gave me a super chat for $4.99. That really truly means so much to me. I really appreciate your support. I'm here, like, my time is your time. I try to show up every Friday, every week to, provide you guys value, provide you help. I absolutely love doing this. And so when you show me kind of your small tokens of appreciation like that, it really, really does mean a lot to me. So thank you so much, Zara. I really do appreciate that. That really means a lot. Yeah, Zara said, Justin, I appreciate you taking the time and teaching us this. Absolutely. Zara, let us know your channel. What's your channel or your platform? Where are you at in your creator journey? I would love to learn more. Diana said, I have turned down so many brands because I didn't want to waste my time arguing about price. I have better things to do with my time. Yeah, you know what? That's a really great point, Diana. Let's pull this thread a little bit. What's up, Natalie? Thanks for joining in the IG chat. Let's pull this thread a little bit. Let me pull this back up on the screen. Creators don't do a great job. Most creators, I feel, don't do a great job at valuing their time, right? Let's say, for example, that you agree to do a dedicated YouTube video for a brand or something, right? And let's say that they are not compensating you. It's just for like free product. Let's say it takes you an hour or two to plan it, right? Do your outlines or do your scripts or whatever you want to, like, however you structure your videos. It takes you an hour to film. I don't know, maybe 2 hours to film. I don't know. Maybe you have to do B-roll to make the video look really nice. How many hours does it take you to edit if you're still doing all hours? Maybe if it's like a 10-15 minute YouTube video, sit down, like review or something. So how many hours are we at? Right? We're at 6-7 hours, something like that. Think about how much you get paid. If this is still a side hustle for you and you're getting paid in your full-time job or whatever, what is your hourly rate? So I don't know what it is. I just want you to do this math in your head. You just spent 7 hours of your time. And let's say the product is $50. They sent you the product, right? Let's say if you were, like $25, $30 an hour, let's just say, right? And you just spent 7-8 hours. That's easily $200 to $250 worth of your time, right? That you just spent for free, right? And I don't like doing that particular type of math, because at that point, all you're doing is valuing your time, and you're not valuing your the platform that you've built and the organic distribution that you have built up with your following, and the connection, that the credibility that you're putting your stamp of approval on this asset for the brand. That's valuable. That's extremely valuable, right? So we're not even talking about that. We're just talking about the time that you've invested in doing this right now, which is a lot. It's non-trivial, right? So you can start to see that when you start to think about this, just at the very least, valuing your time, they should be compensating you for this, regardless of whether the fact that they are sending you the product or not, right? Like, yes, that should be a given. They should be sending you the product, right? But they need to, at a minimum, if you're an aspiring creator, at least a couple $100s to cover your costs of your time, right? Again, we're not even talking about the organic distribution that you have, right? Because if they went out there and they had to hire an ad agency, or had to hire a production company, or had to go hire actors or actresses to star in an ad that they would then, turn around and use as paid ads on Facebook or Instagram or something like that, that's real money that they're having to spend. So why are they not spending that real money on you? Right? They're not going to go. You think like an actor or an actress is going to you can pay me in free product. No, right? At least they know that you need to pay them for their time, right? They don't have an audience or an organic distribution that the brand gets to tap into, right? You're forgetting that. So it's really, really critical. So Diana, I love what you're saying here, which is that I don't want to waste my time arguing my price. I have better things to do with my time, right? Your time is extremely valuable as a creator. Right? So don't discount that. It's absolutely critical. Absolutely critical. So great point here. And Dee said, correction, Justin, you do show up every week. Not try. You sure do. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dee. And oh my gosh, Emily, Keto Twin said, we started getting paid. We have a 6-month deal and a 3-month coming up this month. Oh my gosh. Congratulations. Let us know what brand was it with. I'm so curious, like how that worked. Was it like an integrated video, dedicated video? Man, Emily, like how long have we been talking? You've been like watching the live stream for at least 6 months, probably, right? And I remember your comments about like, man, hopefully we'll get our first paid deal one day. But man, like let's do some celebration here. I wish I had like some celebratory like confetti or something. Hold on, let me look at I have like a graphics section here. Let me see if I can like add something to the screen. I don't think I can. Like what's this? What is this? Oh, there we go. That's not like that, like fun, but I got some like flowers on the screen. What is this one? Oh, there we go. It's just like good little graphics that they have. Anyways, congratulations. That's so exciting. That's really, really exciting. Skillshare, it's a 6-month deal. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. Congratulations. That's so great. Yeah. Skillshare is great about, like doing longer term like contracts like that with creators. I recently did an analysis, a brand deal reaction video for like Lily Singh. She did a Skillshare. She actually did a Skillshare course, and she did a sponsorship with them. So yeah, they work with a lot of creators. So that's amazing. So congratulations. That's so cool. Yeah. And Diana said that it's the back and forth emails that kill me and my time. I won't even consider a brand deal less than a particular amount. I think that's great. Yeah. That all this stuff takes time doing, right? Like things that we've been talking about on this live chat for a long time is like trying to hone your skills with negotiations. When you're doing this back and forth with emails with a brand, it takes a lot of time, right? It's not like sometimes you have to jump on the phone with them, right? And like clarify certain things. And then you got to like get the contract and figure out if you're going to interpret it or you're going to hire a lawyer to like review it and all this stuff, right? So all this stuff takes time and takes you away from creating content and growing your platforms and things like that. So it's definitely a balancing act for sure. Yeah, Diana said, congratulations, Skillshare is on my list. Absolutely. Congrats. Okay. So let's talk about the third mindset shift. When it comes to knowing your worth for brand deals. So this one has to do, it's a little bit more like visceral, which is just that there really is no one else like you, right? And I think a lot of creators forget this because they think, oh, I'm just like, one in like a countless sea of creators. There's millions of, other food influencers, or there's a million other keto, food influencers out there, Emily, or there's, a million other people talking about how to do a a premium course, Diana, right? But when a brand is reaching out to you, there's a reason that they're doing that. They landed on a piece of your content. They landed on your platform or your channel. Something about your page resonated. Your personality, and maybe it's your connection with your audience, the quality of your content, yes, of course, there are brands who are only going to care about your numbers or your reach or like what results you're going to drive for them. But in my experience, in my opinion, there are a lot more brands who are very sensitive, about or very selective about the types of creators that they partner with. And so just having that mindset going into the negotiation that they want to work with you, right? I teach creators in my course this, which is one question that you can ask brands, which is very illustrative about this, which is, how many other, it's just one of the things that you ask them during, there's like a whole like template that we talk about in the negotiation section of my course. But a question that you can ask them that's very strategic is, how many creators are you working with for this campaign? And if they say, well, we're just reaching out to you, that's a very good sign that they want to work with you. If they're not even talking with anyone else, right? Like that should be a tell to you that they see something in you, that you're very special, that they want to partner with you. So you should be asking them that question, right? Like, how many other creators? And by the way, if they say that we're working with a lot of other creators, there's some very clever negotiation tricks and tactics that you can use to steal some budget from those other creators and get paid 3 to 4 times the amount that they were originally going to pay you. But again, I go over that in a lot more detail in my course. But asking these types of questions when you're doing the negotiation can help you understand, like, man, no, like you are unique. There's something about you, and they think that because the other thing too, if you were able to participate in my live Zoom workshop. It was my brand attraction audit, like my Attract More Brands workshop. I talked about this, which is that there's a lot of tire kicking that goes on, right? Before a brand or an agency ever reaches out to you, they will, look at your social platforms. They'll look at the types of content that you're posting. Are you posting more photos? Are you posting more videos? Are you doing reels? Are you doing TikToks? Are you doing a lot of integrated videos? Are you doing a lot of dedicated videos? What other brands have you worked with in the past? Right? What's your age? What's your location? Where, do you have kids? Blah, 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 blah. There's this laundry list of stuff because they have, when they decided as identified a consumer persona, which is the types of consumers they're trying to target, as well as a creator persona, who are the types of creators that we want to partner with. Those are two separate things, right? Because as a creator, you have audience demographics, right? So you probably have, maybe let's say you're a woman and your audience is 50-50 split between men and women. The brand is trying to reach women or something, or they're trying to, 18 to 35 millennial women or whatever it is, right? So there's two separate criteria that they're looking for when they look to partner with a creator. So there's a lot of things that they're looking for before they ever reach out to you, because they have to determine whether you're even eligible or you're even going to be a fit for this campaign that they're trying to recruit for, right? So it's really, really critical that you understand these things and you ask them these questions when they do reach out to you, because obviously you've already passed their first gauntlet. You've already passed their first test, which is that you've checked the box that you fit the criteria of who they're trying to work with for this campaign, right? So that's a very good sign that they're reaching out to you, because they've done a little bit of due diligence on you already. And by the way, if you weren't able to attend the workshop live, you can actually instantly download it now. It's a $40 workshop. I wanted a $40 workshop. I wanted to make it more affordable for creators who are just starting out on their journey. So if you want to take that, you can just do that and download the Zoom recording instantly of the workshop. Let me actually put the URL in the chat if some of you guys are interested in this here. And you can check that out. Yeah, D says, sign up for Brand Deal Wizard to learn the secrets. Oh my goodness. Thank you, D. D was just completed cohort 3 of my course. And so for those of you guys who are interested in checking it out, you can just go to branddealwizard.com to sign up for the waitlist. The next cohort will start in around the September timeframe. Gia has a question here, which is that content creation is obviously blowing up. You've been in the field for so long. Do you genuinely believe there's enough non-influencer eyeballs for everyone to be able to monetize? That's a great question. So yeah, I mean, if you're just like a normal consumer, right, and you're like scrolling your feed, there's a lot of ads like on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or whatever. And the my my candid answer to that is absolutely. I actually think that the creator economy or this space in general is going to 10x. At least 5x over the next 5 years, 10x over the next 10 years, 5x over the next 5 years. Because look, any study that they have done of the young generation, like Gen Z, Gen Alpha, et cetera, like 3/4 of them at least have said that being a creator is at the top of their list of dream jobs. So even if a tiny percentage of those people ultimately turn out to be like go and start creating content and things like that, that is a massive amount of people. Right. So not only are there going to be a massive amount of content creators, there's going to be a massive amount of people consuming the content as well, because creators consume content as well. Because if you're a good creator, you should be consuming content in your niche as well to do research and improve your content and up your game and things like that. So it's a valid question, because yes, as an average consumer just scrolling the feed, there is a lot more sponsored content and things like that right now. But as with anything, these things are going to evolve. These things are going to morph. Right? Look, what do you think is a more effective spend or like utilization of a brand's marketing budget? Would it be to go out there and pay an advertising agency or a production company $250,000 to create a 30-second ad on TV? Because that's what they do just to make the ad. It's $250,000. That's not even like talking about the spend that it requires to actually run the ad, that you have to pay the networks, right? So do you think that it's more of an effective use of their budget to take that $250,000 and pay 100 influencers or 50 influencers to create content, and then, boost that content with additional dollars on Facebook or Instagram or whatever social platform is going to be massive in 5 years, right? So I actually am massively bullish on this, because and that's what I tell creators who say to me like, oh, it's so saturated. There's like, everyone's trying to be a creator. Like, there's no more, like, there's no room for me. Like, I could never stand out. And I think that's absolute hogwash. Like, this is the best time to get in, because like this type of format is only going to increase. Look, 5, 6, 7 years ago, wasn't that long ago, that brands were not partnering with like vloggers, if you can believe it. Like my wife, we had like multiple channels, right? My wife had like a beauty channel, like lifestyle, like mommy, like a motherhood type channel. And then we had a like a lifestyle channel, or a vlog channel, sorry. And our vlog channel was getting like 2 to 3 times the amount of engagement and views as her main channel. And no one was wanting to like partner with us and sponsor us on our vlog channel, because brands were just like not comfortable. They just didn't get it. It was like kind of a little more raw. It wasn't like heavily produced and glossy. All the brands were still wanting to partner with like my wife on her main channel, like the main channel, which was like, a little bit more glossy, this type of thing, the blurry, like rack focus, bokeh in the background when you like a beauty guru type channel. And then the floodgates opened. Right. And there was just this massive amount of interest in the vlog format. Right. So just as with that was like only, again, 5, 6 years ago. Right. And so just as can happen with that, so a new type of format, a new type of medium, TikTok didn't, exist 2, 3 years. I mean, there was Musical.ly, obviously, but in its current form, in its current gigantic form, didn't exist 2 to 3 years ago. So like, who knows what's going to happen, and who knows what type of format. The other thing too, that TikTok has created, which is really interesting to me, is that everyday people, like, who have extraordinary skills or who are particularly interesting, have become influencers, have blown up. They're not the traditional like influencer per se that, Instagram created, right? With like the perfect backdrops and like, perfect photo shoots, right? Like there has been kind of a rejection of that to more of a grittier kind of real, like capturing of real life. Right. So, I think the short answer to that was kind of a long answer, but the short answer is yes. I absolutely think there's massive amounts of opportunity moving forward for sure. Gia says, definitely confidence boosting. Yeah. Because, I hear you, Gia, which is that it can be kind of discouraging sometimes, which is just like, man, like I've been grinding and I'm not seeing the type of like viewership or followership that I've been hoping I would. Heck, like Gia, like I get a couple hundred views per video on my YouTube videos. Right. So it's like, that could be discouraging to me, or it could be encouraging, which is that we are in the first inning of the creator economy, in my opinion, right? We are like, and here's another good indicator, which is that, let me see if I can find this article real quickly. I want to show you this article because I think it'll be very helpful. 2 seconds here, because I want you to see this article. There was an article that was published by The Information, which is a this is skipping around. Here we go. Oh, I found it. See how quick? Okay, let me share my screen real quick. So this was an article that was posted, and I'm going to share my screen. Sorry, I'm doing two things at once. Okay. Okay, so check out this article. This is a article that's investments in creator economy startups hit $2 billion. What do you think this means? Venture capitalists, which is there are these companies that invest hundreds of millions, and in this case, $2 billion in creator economy startups. They are in the business of predicting the future. They are in the business of investing in something for cheaply now in the hopes that it will be worth 10 times, literally 10 to 100 times the amount in 5-10 years. They make these long-term bets that this company is going to be worth a lot more money. So that's why you've been seeing some of these companies like Patreon and Kajabi, which is a course platform, and just lots of companies raising hundreds of millions of dollars, right? So this should be your best indicator that some of the smartest minds in venture capital, in tech, are betting on the fact that this is going to be gigantic, not now, but in 10 years, because it's already big, but it's going to be even bigger in 5 to 10 years. So I just wanted to show you this article because again, this is like data back. Like I am just one person's opinion, but this is like a bunch of people, very smart people. They're putting their money where their mouth is, and they're saying, hey, like, we actually believe that this is going to be even that much bigger down the line. So it's absolutely going to be just, I'm just super excited because, yes, like maybe, as a creator, things are not going your way now, but just honestly, I think keep grinding and it'll come for sure. Don't just do it mindlessly though. Like, I am obviously a big fan of like analyzing your analytics and your metrics and things like that to ensure that, the type of content that you're putting out is actually something that your followers want to engage with and that you're able to find new audiences and things like that. One thing that I struggle with on Instagram, just candidly, is finding new audiences, right? I think I do a decently good job of like providing valuable content to the people who are already following me, but just it's tough, like actually getting your content in front of newer audiences. In Instagram in particular, like you have to be using the features that they want you to be using, like live and like reels and like things like that. And even me as a creator, it's like hard to like maintain a presence on like my main social platforms and like, doing like 2-3 reels a day. Like TikTok, I know, like, honestly, if like a lot of the top TikTokers, they're doing like 5 to 7 TikToks per day. Which is just like, I can't do that. I have a life. I have kids. I have like a business. I have other stuff that we have to do. It's like, it's just hard to do that. And it's just like props. Like if you can do that, like that's crazy, especially during quarantine. I know people had a lot of like time to do stuff like that, but like, that's tough. That's really, really tough. So even me, like, sometimes I'm, honestly thinking like, man, where should I be allocating my resources as a creator? Like, should I be, pumping, because I'm posting like 4 times a day on Instagram. I'm pumping out a lot of content. I have people helping me with that. It's not just me. I just don't have time to do it all. I obviously help like with the ideation of the copy and like what we're saying and the imagery and the design and things like that. But it's just impossible. It would be impossible to pump out all the content that I do on a daily and weekly basis without help, because I wouldn't be able to. And so it's part of a long-term plan or like kind of strategy for me. The goal is, to help creators along their entire journey. Just like, Emily, for example, Emily had mentioned that she was hoping to take my brand deal wizard course once she got her first brand deal. And that was 6 months ago or like 3 months ago when we were first, talking about it. And now she did. Right. So it's like, I don't know if you want to take it in September, Emily, but you should, because now you got your first paid brand deal. It's amazing. But it's like, you have to understand as a creator that people in your audience, especially if you're selling things like products or, physical products or courses or ebooks or, workbooks or what coaching, whatever it is, you have to understand that not everyone in your audience is going to be ready, right at the time that you're ready to sell your thing, right? Or you're ready to like sell your wares, right? So part of being a good creator is supporting everyone, regardless of where they're at in the journey, because believe me, people are going to remember that. Like, I have been helping people in my DMs and in my email inbox for months and months, probably over a year now since I started the channel. I've just been helping them out of the kindness of my heart. I haven't been charging anyway. I've just been like helping people with negotiations and things like that. And multiple of those people, when time came around, like 6 months later, ultimately decided to enroll in the course because they remember that I helped them. Because people, like, honestly, like, how do I best articulate this? Like, people, everyone thinks that there's a catch, right, with things when it comes to like help like that. So it's like, oh, like you're willing to help me for free? Like, really? Like, what's the catch? And I just basically say there's no catch, right? I just want to help you regardless of whether you ultimately, work with me for coaching or my courses or whatever. Like, I'm going to help you regardless. I will help you with a negotiation because this is what I love to do. And I love seeing people succeed. And my bet is that it'll all come back around. Maybe you don't ultimately, choose to work with me, but maybe you're going to tell your friend who's a creator, hey, you should go work with Justin because he helped me and like he didn't even ask for anything in return. Like, again, I'm a big believer in karma with that type of thing, and it's all going to come back around. So think about yourself as a creator. Like, how can you apply that mindset to your business? How can you serve your followers and your audience? Because again, it's all going to come back around. I truly believe that, and I'm walking evidence and proof that really is the case. So, and oh yes, Emily says, yes, we want to take Brand Deal Wizard. Boom, there we go. Oh my gosh, so excited. So September, probably after Labor Day, we're going to do it. I'm excited. D says real quickly here in the chat, I'm strategic with the type of content I consume as a creator. This is back to Gia's question. If it's not in the vision for my goals, it's not worth my time. It needs to be research-based, niche-based, and for my community. One thing, that's a great point, D. One thing I want to mention here, and this is something I've heard, I can't remember exactly where I first heard this, but like it really resonated with me, which is that if you are want to protect your time as a business owner, not just a creator, you need to become a producer of social media, not a consumer, or at least flip-flop it, where, a lot of people are like, 80% of the time they spend on social media is like consuming other people's content, and maybe 20% of the time producing it. And you need to flip-flop that. So the best way to do this is unfollow everyone that's not in your niche. Right? It's going to make social media much less interesting for you, right? And the people that you ultimately follow or stay following are your, what's called like your dream people that you ultimately want to be associated with. So it's the people that you admire and you aspire to be in your content vertical, in your niche, because all you're going to see in your feed is inspiration at that point. And it's not going to be any sort of like time wasting. Right. And that really resonated with me. And I have done that on some of my social platforms where I unfollowed, I was just like wasting too much time on social media. And so I just unfollowed people that weren't like in the niche that I wanted to kind of focus on. And it's been a huge like time saver. So D, I love that kind of framework that you're talking about here. Yes. Oh, a break for mommy. I said, yes, you should all work with Justin. He's amazing. Janelle, thank you so much. Janelle was in my my third cohort of the Brand Deal Wizard course that just ended a couple weeks ago. Thank you, Janelle. I truly appreciate that. And we have a question from someone in the Facebook group here, and it says Facebook user. I can't see who it is, so I'm going to go real quickly into the Facebook chat to see who it is. Because I can go to my Facebook page. Rupali Patel. Thank you so much for the question, Rupali. Is Instagram taking more of a TikTok approach by pushing more video and reels instead of still images to be featured or end up on an Explorer page? So there's a great question, Rupali. And actually, Adam Mosseri, who is one of the heads of Instagram, recently did a post, like a live, talking about like addressing this specifically, which is that, yes, Instagram is going to be taking, he even said like TikTok is huge, right? We have a lot of competitors. And so they absolutely are going to be leaning into video. This is they are admitting this. So if video is something that you're not super comfortable with, whether it's IGTV or whether it's live or whether it's in-feed video or whether it's reels or whether it's video stories or whatever, Instagram has admitted that video is going to be a much bigger part of the Instagram platform. If you want any indication of this, why do you think they redesigned the entire user interface of the Instagram app to have the Reels button front and center? There's 5 buttons along the bottom and Reels is in the very middle, right? So they absolutely are trying to push this. So I think honestly, I think Instagram is kind of having a bit of an identity crisis, and they really don't know what they want. They're really trying to compete with, all these platforms out there that are vying for consumers' attention and creators' attention, right? So, but yeah, to answer your question head on, like, if you want Instagram to continue to be a meaningful part of your creator business, you absolutely need to be leaning into video more. Like even just anecdotally, like a lot of the brand deal inquiries that my wife April and I have received over the last 6 months, even a lot more have been for Reels. Like, hey, we want you to make a reel, and we hadn't seen that initially. I think a lot of brands kind of like hang out on the sidelines until they kind of like test the waters. They dip their toes in the waters to see like, oh, like, is this really a thing? Like, should we be like investing in this? And then finally they just kind of like look around like at their competitors and their like colleagues, and they're like, oh, I guess everyone else is doing it. So like, we got to do it too, And honestly, that's how sometimes these things happen. So hopefully that's helpful, Rupali. What's up, J-Dub? What's up, Jay? Thanks for tuning in. Adri Luna, what's up? Khalil SM. Thanks for tuning in. All things Nat. What's up, Melissa? Sweet Melly Bakery. So much for tuning in. Okay, so we've still got 2 more mindset shifts to talk about. Let me take a swig. Okay, so just a quick update for those who tuned in, weren't at the beginning of the chat. We're talking about 5 mindset shifts to know your worth for brand deal rates and just like negotiations with brands. And we're on number 4. And the quick, quick update here. Number 1 is you deserve to be compensated, right? We talked about that. You absolutely deserve to be compensated. You're not going to work a 9-to-5 job for free. So why are you going to work with a brand for free? Okay. Remember that. Number 2, summary. Number 2, people don't value things as highly that they get for free. Right. And think about yourself. You purchase, you get something for free, like a free coupon or free whatever. You're not going to a free seminar, a free seminar to go get 2 nights in Vegas for free. You're not going to value whatever the heck they're teaching you. You just want the free thing, the free stay in Vegas. Right. Have you ever done that? So mentally, at least even if they're paying you $100, right, they're going to value it more like they're going to value it more highly, right? And number 3 that we talked about is that there's no one like you. You are unique. There's a reason that they're reaching out to you. So don't sell yourself short in that way, right? Okay, so mindset shift number 4 is that there is absolute power in being able to walk away from a deal. And Diana talked about this in the live chat, which is that sometimes, and even Emily, Keto Twins talked about this, right? Like being able to say, we're only focusing, thank you so much for the interest, but at this time we're prioritizing partnerships that have compensation, right? And then that's what my wife and I say too. Like even now we get approached about deals where it's like only affiliate based or it's like free product based or whatever, even at the point that we're at, right? So, there is absolute power in doing that because you are able to protect your time, prioritize your time, and focus those times on speculative pitching brands where you actually really want to work with them and they're actually going to be compensating you, right? Or creating content that will help attract more brands, right? Those are the 2 things that you should be focusing on as a creator: creating compelling content to attract more followers and attract more brands, as well as doing speculative pitching, outbound pitching, not just sitting on your hands and waiting for brands to reach out to you, right? So it's just like a job interview, right? Like you should be asking questions and getting to know the brand, right, to determine whether they would be a good fit for you and your audience. Like, remember, this is your social platform. It's not the brand's, right? You are in control. You get to decide whether you're going to work with the brand or not, right? So don't let them like push you into this. Just because they're reaching out to you doesn't mean that they have to that you have to work with them, even if they're a good fit for your channel. Like Keto Twins, Emily, right? We've talked about this. We were like emailing about this, right? There were brands that were reaching out to you, just wanting you to offer you like keto chips, or something for free. Was it keto chips? I don't remember. It was like some sort of keto focused food, right? Like you could go out and buy that for $20. Why are you going to do all this work for them for free? Right? This is your platform. So you can walk away. You absolutely can walk away, and you should be empowered to do so. And it's not insulting to the brand. Again, right? Like, okay, maybe there will be some brands that get insulted by that, but sorry, those are not, that's a red flag. That's not the brand that you want to be working with anyway, because that's a red flag that, there was, trust me, there would have been some other things that would have happened. If you ultimately chose to work with that brand, if they're giving you like flack at the outset for something like this, right? So just keep that in mind, right? Like you can walk away and be empowered by that. Okay. So, mindset shift number 5, is that, you need to invest in yourself, right? We talked about this at the beginning of the stream. You cannot expect to improve, get paid more money, create more compelling content, right? A lot of creators, like they get like, oh yeah, I want to invest in a new camera, like a new DSLR camera with a really nice lens. I'm going to invest in a nice camera, or a nice microphone, right? A nice podcast microphone, or I can do my ASMR, right? Investing in software tools, new editing software, like whatever it is, outsourcing to editors, right? All of those things will absolutely help you improve your content, right? And for some reason, that is the only lever that a lot of creators and influencers think that they have to improve their business, or improve their content and things like that. And I actually believe that it's just like investing in going to university, right? That's why you go and you go to get a college degree in the hopes that you will land a job. It's a little bit less guaranteed these days that you'll land a job in your chosen, degree. But that's why I created the course, y'all, to have an outlet for people who are looking to improve their business savviness when it comes to brand deal partnerships. This is not the only course I'm going to be creating. I'm going to be creating another course. My next course is going to be called Gifted to Paid, right? To help creators who are just getting a bunch of free product transition into finally getting paid, because that's like my most requested course aside, after my Brand Deal Wizard course. But honestly, like you cannot expect to improve if you are not like spending time, like learning how to do better, right? They're like doctors. They have to do continuing education to be able to maintain their medical license, right? People, I don't know what it is about like credentialing. Like people think like, oh, because like being a creator is not like a credentialed thing where there's not like a certification that you can get or not like a degree that you can get or whatever. Like for some reason, it's not like a job, but it is a job, right? I expect actually that we will start to see actual colleges and universities start offering accredited programs for creators, like digital content creators and things like that. Mark my words, in 5 years, within 5 years, within 3 years, I think we'll see something like that, right? And so a lot of I think it's kind of stigmatized, which is why a lot of creators don't see it that way. But coaching and courses and things like that, like we need, in my opinion, we need 100 times more people doing this, because that statistic that we talked about earlier, where 75% of the younger generation says that they want to be content creators, there's going to need to be an entire ecosystem built up to serve them, to educate them, to teach them, right? Because it's not enough to just go into this and it's the Wild West, right? Those people are being preyed on by brands. Yeah. And it's just not okay. Preyed on by like managers and things like that, who are taking a massive cut of their income and things like that. And that will not fly with me. My mission as a creator myself, my mission is to help people avoid that, is to help people take control of their own destinies and create an amazing livelihood for them, for their families, and for even future generations. Honestly, the amount of wealth and opportunity, like one of the things I love the most about being a creator is that the opportunities are limitless. When I was in my 9-to-5 job, I was in medical devices prior to this, 10 plus years ago. If I ever wanted a raise, I had to wait for my annual performance review. And then a percentage of my bonus, I had a bonus. And then if I wanted to raise, a percentage of it was like, how the company did. And a percentage of it was like how I achieved my like personal, metrics. Any of you who have had like a normal, like 9-to-5 job, you probably are like familiar with this, right? This is how it works. I got to like, you have to wait every year to like get your bonus, get your raise. When you're a creator, you give yourself a raise every single day. If you are able to become more savvy with your negotiation skills, you can give yourself a raise on the next brand deal, right? So honestly, there is no ceiling. The harder you work, the more quality content that you create. Like, let's talk about YouTube. If you can improve your craft to going from 10,000 views per video to 20,000 views per video, or 20,000 views to 100,000 views per video, you can literally 4 to 5x your income. Right? In what job can you do that? There's no other job. Being a content creator is the most powerful. Not only that, let's talk about this. Not only that, what overhead do you have as a creator? If you had a normal brick and mortar business, an ice cream shop, or like, I don't know, any business that had like a storefront, right? You have the lease, you have insurance, you have employees, you have workers' compensation, you have the ingredients of your ice cream cones, you have your machinery to make the ice cream, the industrial ice cream maker, right? Whatever, right? You have expenses, and then you have the revenue that you generate from selling an ice cream cone, right? When you're a creator, what is your expenses? Yeah, you buy your microphone, you buy your camera, you have some lights. That's a one-time expense. What is your ongoing expense? Your phone, your internet connection. It is a ludicrously high margin business. You get a brand deal, you keep, well, yes, you have to pay taxes, but like, what are your expenses? It is like being a content creator is like the absolute most amazing job if you can generate income doing this, right? So I absolutely tell people, and like people who I remember, like when people when I quit my job in medical devices, I quit my job 6 weeks after my first son, Liam, was born. He's 7.5 now. So it's been, about 7.5 years since I quit. Dad Vlog says, you on one today, bro? Yes, I love it. And Khalil said, this is solid stuff. Preach. Yes. I remember people said when I quit, oh my gosh, that's so risky. You quit your job and you have a newborn? Like, really? What about medical insurance? What about all this? By the way, my wife and I had been planning this for months, for years, that once we reached a certain point of incremental income above my 9-to-5 income, we decided I have to quit because there's no other, like, I just won't do it otherwise, right? I actually think having a 9-to-5 is riskier. Let me tell you why. Because when times get rough for your company, regardless of the late nights that you've put in, regardless of all the blood, sweat, and tears that you've put into that company, they will fire you without a second thought. Like, right? They will lay you off. They will lay off. Oh, well, you know what? They go look at the top line numbers. We got to lay off 20% of the staff. Sorry, you've been made redundant. Right? That will happen in an economic downturn. Look at COVID-19. Right? Right? They had no choice. Okay. And when you're a creator, can you be fired like that? Okay, maybe like your views might start going down if you're a YouTuber or something like that, or your brand deal flow might start drying up a little bit, but it's not going to be precipitous. It's not going to be like a cliff where all of a sudden you wake up and you're not receiving income anymore, right? Your affiliate income is still going to come in, but it's going to be a slow thing, and it's going to be something that you can address. So like you actually have a much softer landing as a creator, right? If you start seeing that things are going awry. So again, that's why I'm so bullish on the creator economy, because I honestly think like when you're in control of your own destiny, you have the ability to like, the sky is the limit. And again, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. Being a content creator is not for everyone. It is not for the faint of heart. Gia, I know you were saying like, you can get discouraged sometimes if you're not seeing the results that you're wanting. And you have to grind. You just have to keep improving on your stuff. Marcus, I didn't even know you were here. Marcus said, even Justin is constantly improving. Just look at how he upgraded his streaming set a few months ago. Thank you, Marcus. That means a lot to me. And he said, I even saw him ask for feedback on the vidIQ channel review. He walks the walk. Yeah. Like I remember. Yeah, that's exactly right. Like on Twitter, vidIQ was like, oh, drop your channel and see how you can improve. Mr. Beast said on Twitter, like, drop your channel. I want to like help you guys improve. I dropped my channel. I am very low ego about this stuff, guys. Like I hired Patty Galloway. If you know Patty Galloway, he has this really great YouTube channel. He does like, he's a YouTube consultant and he's a genius. He's looked at like tens of thousands of YouTube videos and looked for like this kind of the formula for success on YouTube. I hired him. You know, he was a couple $100 just for an hour of his time. He dug into our content, dug into my content, and I completely retooled the way in which I was like creating my YouTube videos after talking with him. Because, he would look at like my audience insights and things like that. Oh, my lunch date is here, guys. She had to make a cameo. Come here, boo. Come here. Look how beautiful she's looking here. Come on, make the entrance. Oh, come sit on my lap, boo.
Hi, friends. Who's here?
Let's see. Come say hi. Oh, today we were talking about confidence when it comes to like negotiating and things like that.
Oh, that'd be me. I'm the expert at that.
Talk about when we first started out, like when you first started getting like messaged by brands. What was your mindset?
Well, I started out with the mindset that this is a hobby and it's pretty amazing that brands are wanting to pay me for just a hobby of mine. I started 12 years ago, so we didn't know that being an influencer or content creator was going to make money, so it was a totally different mindset. But it was a blessing. I remember this flat iron hair company. Do you remember, honey, that website?
Oh,
it was like a flat iron, but flatironsomething.com, but it was a bunch of hair tools. And I remember one of my favorite YouTubers at the time got sponsored. I left a comment. They found me too. And they offered me like $200 to do a video. And I like had 1,000 followers at the time. I was like, hell to the yeah. Not only do I get a free like hair curling iron, whatever, I also get paid. That's some crazy ass stuff right there. It was pretty insane. I felt so blessed. And every day, I know now what I can do for brands. So I know that I can charge a lot because I've earned it. And I can wholeheartedly say that if you feel in your soul and in your heart that you deserve it, the brands will pay you because you are so important to them. Like you are the one that will actually get their name out there. I'm still waiting for a check from Hefty because Justin had filmed me with a trash bag and he said, okay, Hefty ambassador. And I said, wait a second, we not saying names about the name of trash bag unless they're gonna pay me. Okay. Just kidding. Just kidding. It's a joke. No, but I know, like, if you truly feel like you are worth it, you will get it. And you will have to be able to walk away. It's so important to be able to walk away. Like, I know my numbers, I know my reach, I know what I can give to the brand. So I know that if they cannot reach me at my rate, I know that I have to say goodbye. And I will wait for them later until they can actually pay me my rate. I'm not a fake influencer. I don't buy likes. I don't buy views. I don't buy any of that. Like, there's so many fake influencers out there who will take any price because they ain't worth nothing, because they got fake followers and they're not even real influencers. Like, why even follow them? You know what I mean? But I know that I'm worth it because I'm none of that. I am none of that.
Was it Flatiron Experts?
Oh my God, Flatiron Experts. Adriel, yes, at Flatiron Experts. That's what was $200 for 1,000 subscribers was bomb back then.
That's actually a really good point about like fake. Oh, you got gum?
Okay. Yeah, I do.
April and I are going on a lunch date after this. It's a great point about like inauthentic behavior and buying followers and likes and stuff like that. That like when, especially if you can, illustrate to a brand that you have an authentic, engaged audience and they're real people. That's going to become a more and more a super important aspect of influencer marketing and things like that. Because, whereas before it wasn't as, front and center in brands' minds to be conscious or wary of that type of thing. It's a big problem now, right? And brands really know that. And so don't like underestimate the fact of like, even if you have a small engaged audience of 5,000 people or whatever, like that's way more valuable to a brand than 50,000 followers and 80% of them are fake, which happens, right? You know what I mean?
And let me tell you a little something. Live streaming is a thing now. It's a big thing actually on social media, like Amazon Live. And your sales numbers do not lie. So you may have 500,000 followers on Instagram, but if you're on Amazon Live and you sell less than $100 per live, who is your audience? Just one person, okay? Who is your audience? Your sales don't lie. That's why I feel like live streaming is the future. So get your live streaming practice on, because I know I'm going to be where the money resides very soon. Well, I already am, but humble brag. But very soon I know I'm going to reach a different level because I am so skilled in that. I'm practicing with my Amazon Live. And y'all, numbers don't lie. Like, they never lie. So remember that. You might see someone with more followers than you. You might see someone with more likes than you. But honey, none of that matters. What are you selling? How are you selling? Are you being authentic? Do you actually like the brand you work with? Because trust, I say no to everything unless I really like something. You know what I mean? You got to be able to say no.
The other thing too, that even like when we're talking with even Amazon Live and things like that, there are definitely like this is the thing, like not everyone has the skill of being able to talk about products and be convincing about it. And
I can talk about salt.
Yeah, seriously, it very much is a skill that we have learned over the years, right? And being able to like understand how to like talk about not only for sponsorships but also just talk about products and like provide valuable like information and testimonials and things like that about products. So like I always, like April said, not only would I encourage you to start trying live commerce as a skill, because it's going to be, we talk about the future of the creator economy. This is going to be massive in 3 to 5 years. So you need to start now honing your skills, trying it out. If it's something that you're not super comfortable with, get over it, get comfortable with it, because this is something that's going to be more and more valuable to a brand. Because like April said, the influencers that can actually drive conversions and drive impact and drive results and sales, those are going to be the ones that succeed, because there's going to be a whole, subset of creators that this is what they specialize in. So I absolutely would recommend, trying that out now.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. But I also think find a live streaming service of a brand that you love. Like I live and breathe Amazon. Before I even became an Amazon live streamer, Amazon was always live to me. Like, we buy everything on Amazon, so it comes naturally. But if you're like a bougie girl, and that's okay to be bougie, but if you bougie and you like designer things and you out here trying to sell Amazon, it's not going to work. It's not going to work for you.
They have lots of platforms that are doing this, not just Amazon. So like Verishop, I think, is one of them that they have more like higher end stuff.
Yeah, there needs to be a higher end one for people who like higher end, because Amazon does not sell like Chanel. But I promise you, the people who are going to be selling the high end are going to be making big sales.
They have that in Asia already.
Yeah, I know.
They're selling like high end stuff, like tens of, like millions of dollars on one person's live stream.
Oh no, you best believe China is on that, right? It's China.
What was that? I mean, like for like when Kim Kardashian, there was that article, released her new perfume line. She partnered with like the top Chinese influencer on live stream there, and they sold I think more than like $10 million worth of things in like an hour, like of her perfume or something like that. So it's like crazy,
Yeah. So long story short, just get on live. Like, I didn't realize how during quarantine, I just felt like being on live all the time on Instagram Live. And that really helped me, because it helped me with the conversations I have on Amazon Live. So it was like a hidden blessing, like being on Instagram Live so much, just because I felt lonely during quarantine. You can be with your kids, you can be with your family, you can be with your husband, but you could still feel a little lonely because you don't have other outside sources of socialization. And for me, that was working out at the gym. I had like a group of friends. They were like older ladies, but they were still my friends. And we worked out together like pretty much every day. We would take like body pump, Pilates, cycling classes. And I lost that. I thought about them. I didn't even get their number because it was so consistent that I saw them so often in the week that I never needed their number. And then I thought about them during quarantine and how I never even got their info, you know?
Yeah.
So next time, I think I'm gonna get their phone number now because I miss them.
Yeah, and Marcus said that live streams are also a great tool to get content
Yeah.
ideas based on live questions from the audience.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, we're already at time, y'all. You know what that means. That means it's date time with the wife.
I love Fridays now because we used to do No Cook Friday like at night, but lately we've been doing like a lunch date instead, and I like that more. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and Zahra, thank you so much again for the super chat. I really, really appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
Zahra
You gave
gave
my
me
man a
she
super
did.
chat,
That was so
girl.
nice.
Let me see. Where?
Scroll all the way up to the
Oh
to the
my
beginning.
God, we love to see it. Justin out here dropping gems, free 99. So we appreciate.
Right there.
Oh my God, Zahra, thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Well, hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and get that pitching on, get that brand deal going, game going.
Get that bag is what I said.
Get the bag. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
See you next week. All right, bye.